I get
Yeah.
treated worse.
Wow, that's not cool. That is not
We all live.
cool. All right,
Hey,
cool.
hey, yo, what's up? This is KLA Cloud, the Wanderer, about to give it to you once again. I got my special guest with me, Badass Roxy. Badass Rox. Can I say Roxy?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's your show.
Badass Roxy, Roxanne Edwards. Yeah,
Yes.
she's fine. She's finally with me today. I know she got busy schedule. You know, how you been?
I've been, busy, uh, well, actually busy and having fun, more fun now training than I did when I was competing. If
Yeah.
that's, yeah. Well, because when you're competing, you always have a date, like a final destination. And so usually you're learning stuff that you could use in your off season, or you're learning stuff so late that you can't really apply it the way you want to. And you're like, oh man, why didn't you teach me this sooner? Now I learn things at my own leisure and I get to apply it. And as a result, the training is way more, it wasn't not fun then, but it's way more fun now. Having nothing to
Okay.
like hang over my head, I can explore techniques and really explore my own strength a lot better than I could before. So
Okay.
that's
I'm gonna ask you a silly question. Are you still
sure.
competing now?
No, 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 no. I retired in 2019. My last show I won, and I figured better to let the
Okay.
public see me walking off the stage a winner than staying on stage and looking like who knows what.
Yeah. Oh, so were you? So did you ever get your pro card?
Yeah, I
Oh,
got my pro
okay.
card. I got my pro card in the Nationals in 2011 as a
Oh, okay.
bodybuilder,
All right.
actually, as a bodybuilder,
Oh,
and then I had to transition over to women's physique because Steve Weinberger had seen me at the Tampa Pro, and I had done, at least for myself, I had done well. Now, when I say that success is measured by winning and losing in bodybuilding, in my case, I never thought I was going to win because I was always small. I was always the smallest woman on stage, and my job wasn't necessarily to win, but was to chase. Like I was chasing the big girls, and I finally was making some ground chasing them. So like this particular call out in this year, I got like where I used to get third call out because again size, not structure or conditioning. Um, I was getting second call out. It was amazing. So I was like, oh shit, I'm catching up. And then Steve Weinberger sees me and he's like, all right, well, your body looks more for women's physique. Maybe you do better in that arena. And all I can think of is, I finally get the body I want. And now you want me to bring it down. What is wrong? So I did women's physique. Um, Bittersweet. I'm not upset I did it. It was more suitable to my physique. However, uh, the I had to reinvent myself. Let's just go with that. For women's
yeah.
physique, then for bodybuilding. So remember when I started, women's bodybuilding was all they had. They didn't have figure or bikini or women's physique. So that's all I
Yeah.
knew. And now I had to do the nuances, the fingers open, and the extra special glamour part. And I'm like, what the hell? The fuck is this shit?
Yeah. I see some of your like an interview with all the race George Page, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that's my guy. And I heard when the interview where you said that you first was introduced to bodybuilding like through watching What Love Got to Do with It with Tina
well,
Turner and
yeah,
not Tina
okay,
Turner but Angela
yeah,
Bassett.
and Angela Bassett. So how this went down was, I was doing group fitness, and as a group fitness instructor, everybody thinks you're in shape. I got news for you. No, you're not. Well, depending. I will say I was cardiovascularly in shape, but I was not physically in shape. So I was skinny fat, meaning at the time that we're talking, I had a gut, love handles, cellulite. Oh, it was a hot mess, hot twisted mess. Anyway, I go see what's love got to do with it. Angela Bassett's older than me, I believe, and so is Tina Turner, and both of them had a better body than I did at a younger age, and I was like, oh hell no. So
Yeah.
the following Monday, I think it was, I went into the gym. I found a personal trainer, a guy who was actually interviewing for a job as a personal trainer, and I was interviewing for group fitness. And he needed a volunteer to show that he wouldn't rape women while he was on the floor. And I was the volunteer. And then after that, I just approached him and said, hey, can you train me? Can you teach me how to? He's like, yeah, but you got to meet me at such and such. All right. 5 neighborhoods away from where I live. But I got it in. And from that day going forward, never looked back. Literally. I got in the gym. That was it. Never looked back.
Yeah, yeah, Angela Bassett to do it for you, cause
Yeah.
I remember I seen her like in like it's this movie that she was in. It's called Strange Days. It
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
a yeah, she was ripped. I would say I didn't see
Yeah.
Love Got to Do with it. For some reason I didn't see that, but I
How?
remember
I am
Strange
going to
Days.
revoke. I'm going to revoke your black card for saying that out loud.
I seen. Well, tell you the truth, I seen some clips of it, but I don't know. I wasn't like I don't know why I didn't see it. It just I don't know. I don't know.
You're slipping, man. You're slipping. It's a good movie. Let's just go with that. But I, as I was saying though, because these two women had such excellent physiques, and they're older
Right.
than me, I'm just like I can't reconcile it in my head. Like, wow, there's no excuse for you to have this body, and they're older than you, looking like that. You gotta pull yourself up, get your game right. So I started training, and somebody saw me in the gym training. They thought, oh, well, you have the genetics, you know, to do this. Up until that point, I didn't even know they had shows. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't really equate.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, 6 months later, they put me in my first show, and I won. And literally, my competition years began in 1995. That was my first show. And from that point
Wow.
going forward, I only missed 2 years of competition. One because of uh, 9/11, and the other because I was doing some sort of like personal, introspective program. Don't ask. It was a lot, and
Yeah.
it wiped me out that year. So the following year I came back, and so I've only missed really 2 years, if you don't count. Yeah, 2 years. That's about 2 years of actually being on stage since
Yeah.
I had decided to train or compete. And there you
Mm.
go.
So you've been around, like you like
That
around that time, like in the '90s. I used to always get the muscle magazines and stuff like that, but I never really was I just used to like the pictures
yeah,
and looking at the women and stuff, and
yeah.
like Linda Murray and other
Kim
people, Tina
Shavetsky.
Lockwood, they caught my
Yeah,
eye. Yeah, Kim
Kim
Tversky.
Tversky.
I remember I hanged
Yes.
up. Yeah, I had a picture of her like hanging on my wall and stuff.
Oh, you and everybody else, my friend. You and everybody else. That chick
Yeah,
is, she's, Linda Murray is genuinely a very sweet human being. So what you see on the outside, what she projects on the outside, it's literally coming from within. And I can say it because at the first show I did for 2017, the Omaha Pro, she was at the show. Matter of fact, let's go back one. There was a show, I did the Tampa Pro the year before. I think it was a Tampa Pro. Anyway, she was at the show and she was livid. She didn't like how they treated a lot of the female bodybuilders. And when she
yeah,
saw me in the hallway, I just asked her for a quick like assessment. What could I improve? And she stopped and gave me 45 minutes of her time, which she didn't have to do, to help me,
mm,
to make improvements. But also, she was telling me a little about herself, her background. And then the following year at the Omaha Pro, she was there and she stopped. I didn't even think she remembered. She stopped me, and next thing I know, she came up to my room. She's really telling me stories about what it was to be black, female, in bodybuilding, as the Olympia, blah 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 blah. And the next morning she came in. She was the one helped me in my put on my bikini, my little suit. Watch. She looked at my posing routine. Um, was very complimentary. I mean, it was just an amazing experience. And all I can say is she literally is. If you think she's beautiful, she legitimately is beautiful
yeah,
inside and out. And that is what I aspire to be, as technically an ambassador for the sport. I think that it's incumbent on the athletes to not just, I mean, because I'm pretty sure you've had these moments where you spoke to somebody, you were like, kind of like, wow, you're so cool. And then they open their mouth and hurt your feelings because they sucked as a human being. I'm pretty sure you have that. Okay. So
yeah. You could say that.
yeah, it's pretty sad. So I always, when I was coaching my clients who were competitors, I always encourage them, listen, the world is going to judge you based on your appearance. So a lot of athletes are usually not just genetically gifted, but physically gifted. They're like pretty, they're gorgeous, or, whatever you want to say. I said, wouldn't it be awesome? Because they're gonna judge you and think you're arrogant and stuck up and all that. Wouldn't it be great if you opened your mouth and whatever they perceived as beautiful, you added to it. You didn't detract. So you opened your mouth and something beautiful came out. Not because of Linda Murray, but something about just me. I always believed that. But when I saw her, it actually confirmed it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
'Cause she was just so positive and just giving. I thought that is how you're supposed to be as an ambassador for the sport.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people got really like positive things to say about her and Andrea on
Yeah.
their show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Andrea's, oh my God. I love Andrea. I love her for two reasons. Um, One is because she's my one of my good friends. Like, she loves her. He's like thinks she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, which she probably is. But she's also very nice. Like a genuinely sweet human being. I ran into her at the New York Pro last year, and we were cockeyed and kikiing and laughing and joking. And I thought, that's amazing. She remembered, just a simple interaction, and she remembered that. But what I saw she did at the Olympia the year before is what made her genuinely, I really liked her. So they refused to let Margie Martin stand next to her at the Olympia. I don't know what that was all about, but they didn't want them together. And they're beautiful bodies. I mean, amazing bodies. And at some point, I think Andrea saw it and she knew it. And she made it a point when they said, ladies, you need to pose down. She went all the way over to Margie. And the two of them just started dancing and chilling and laughing and and posing together. And I thought, that's, that is cool. Because she didn't go with what they were wanting to do, whatever agenda they were trying to promote. She went totally
yeah,
against the grain, and I thought that was it was very sportsmanlike, and it showed a really good character. You know what I mean? So I
right,
will. I always thought she's dope. She's just good people. Period.
right. Well, we got a guest. We got Balls Deep. Good afternoon, gorgeous.
Hi.
He's a cat. What up? Salute, Clyde. Chicago in here. He's from Chicago. Smash
All
the
right.
like button. Peace,
Okay.
blessings, beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't know if she want to do that, but make me a sniper? And will she do any more movies? Her role in Katy Perry's video was, I don't know.
What? I was
Will
not.
she come back to, will she come back to a female bodybuilder?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a character. Yeah, he usually be in all the Race George Page chat,
Ah,
but
okay. Okay, so
yeah,
to answer, I'm not coming back to nothing because
yeah.
there's no
What
point.
what what? Why did you did the transition from bodybuilding to physique?
Okay,
What was the reason?
the reason was that it was just an offer. Usually, okay, so let me explain how this offer works, just so you understand bodybuilding. So Steve Weinberger approached me after the show. He's like, "How you feeling?" I said, "I feel great." I think he really didn't. He couldn't understand me because every time he saw me, whatever my placement was in a bodybuilding show, I was
Right.
ecstatic. And he was like, he couldn't understand why I wasn't bummed out because I was never winning. Yeah, I said I never won, and I didn't expect it.
Oh,
But um, he would ask me how you doing. I was like, I'm fine. He goes, come here for a second. So I came over and he's like, listen, I think you would do better in women's physique because, you know, you're just, he didn't say it, but I knew what he meant. I'm just not a big girl, and that's okay. So,
right.
with that being said, I thought about it and I wasn't on board necessarily because I just started making strides bodybuilding. And then my friend made it a point to let me know, my friend being Caprice Murray, who is also IFBB Pro, and they used to call him the Mutant before he retired. Um, he was like, listen, sister, it's not a request. I was like, I know. Because politics. If an IFBB judge is telling you to do it, it's not a request. He's telling you,
Right.
go ahead and do it. So I had to suck it up and downsize a body that took me a minute to get up. And for me to get up, it takes a minute to get up because I'm really not a big person. And I had to downsize and start competing in women's physique the following year. So I had roughly September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. By May, I had to be ready. I had 9 months to flip and become this other thing. So that was the reason I was requested to do it by an IBB head
Oh,
judge.
very interesting.
Yeah, not a
So
regular.
so so did you like it? Did you think it?
Did I like it? What I liked the first year I was there was I cannot remember this woman's name, but she was in the Olympia a bunch of times before I got there, um, and she had placed third. Excellent physique. Anyway, she had created this thing called Women's Physique Angels. In
Right.
which case, all the women physique athletes would do like a Secret Santa. You pick a name, or she'd pair you up, and you didn't know anybody. So you're just looking at their Facebook page or their Instagram page to see if what would they like, and you got them a gift, and you introduce yourselves before the show started. So
Right.
you became friends with everybody in women's physique. So what I liked about it was in the circuit, I knew everybody. Like before this thing was over, I knew all the women physique athletes. And we did all the shows together. I did like 6 shows my first year as women's
Mm.
physique. And I would see the same faces. So we were laughing and joking and playing around backstage all the time. So I liked that aspect of it. What I didn't like was the how can I say it? The maneuvering. So it's very, how can I say this without sounding crazy? They, I get it now, but they were very strategic, a lot of the women, in how they did what they did to the point where it became a distraction from what you're supposed to be there for, which is to just show your physique. And I get it. They all wanted to win, and yeah, who doesn't want to win? But I'm not one of those people who plays games like that. I'm not a politician. So that aspect I could have did without. It's a different vibe. Women's bodybuilding is more laid back and chill. You show up, you
Yeah.
show up. You have one job as a female bodybuilder: be big, be conditioned, be muscular, look great. As women's physique, it's more okay. What judge likes me, and how can I manipulate that to my end, and so on and so forth. And it's just too much drama. Now, after that, the following year, most of those same women that I had become friends with retired, literally retired.
Mm.
So you're talking about women's physique. The year I started had 30 something women easily.
Right.
Every single show I was in was easily 30 women. It shrank down the following year to like 15 women on stage, 16 women on stage. And 90% of them I didn't know. After that, I was like, and then those women that came in were on some other shit. And I was like, I will punch all kinds of hell out of everybody back here. They won't get their shit together. So I had to like, I started noticing that I was getting more and more annoyed when I would show up at venues. I hadn't gotten on stage, but I was getting this feeling inside, like it wasn't fun anymore. And that's when I knew, okay, you gotta check out. If it stops being fun, then you shouldn't be doing this. And so
And
that was
you
my
sound like an NBA player. You sound like an NBA player with like the new recruits coming in and stuff like
yeah,
that. You like the veteran and stuff.
yeah. Because you know what it is, the veterans are there with the same integrity that I have.
Yeah,
The new They're playing a new game. They're playing, and rightfully so. They have their own agenda and their own game. They're the new breed. Well, I'm not, and I'm not gonna say I like something when I know I don't like it. See what I'm saying? And because I stood my ground or was more willing to be friendly when they wanted to be standoffish or thinking who they were, I'm like, look, you you're not any better than anybody backstage. Matter of fact, we're all backstage because we think we the shit.
yeah,
So how you
yeah,
feeling like you better than everybody back here? Well, how is that even a
yeah,
thing? We all
yeah. I
deserve to be
noticed they
better.
be like that. Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah,
I noticed like a lot of them. They have like this ego type thing. Like.
man.
And it's not
What?
like they're not famous like that. Like,
Exactly.
you
Dude,
trying
you're
to
not,
reach out to them, they be acting up. They be acting
yeah,
up.
yeah, showing their fool ass. And you sitting there going, you know,
Yeah,
you're not famous to anybody outside of whoever follows you on your page, right? You need to slow
yeah,
yourself down. Whereas, and not to brag about myself, I literally know I am what you would call famous-ish, based on, right? Based on things that I've done outside the sport. See what I'm saying? So if somebody recognizes me, usually, yeah, sometimes it's actually because I competed, but sometimes it's because they saw me in a documentary on Showtime. They saw me in a
right,
magazine that is not fitness, a fashion magazine. They saw me in the streets of New York doing a photo shoot. You get what I'm saying? I
right,
was in a play that ran for longer than 4 weeks. It ran for 16 by a very famous director. I've done other things. To me,
right,
that's qualification for what you would call fame. People recognizing me on a train, not because of a bodybuilding show, but because, hey, weren't you on Showtime? Yep. Or MTV? Yep. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile,
Well,
you
I
would
ain't
think,
gonna lie. I didn't really know who you were till all the race George Page kind of introduced me to you.
yeah, nah, that's
Cause,
okay. I'm not expecting everybody to
uh,
know me either. My ego
yeah,
is not bruised by somebody not knowing me. The important thing is that I know me, and that's enough.
yeah.
If you find out who I
Nah,
happen
that's
to be,
cool.
that's
Like
great.
yeah, I'm gonna check it out because because it's a lot of people that it's a lot of people that came in and out of the sport. Like people
Yes, absolutely.
that you would see like maybe like 30 years down the line. Now they're not bodybuilding anymore. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's a lot of women like. I mean, since the age of bodybuilding, like I'm still like looking at, yeah, I be looking at the like the YouTube the videos of
Yeah,
like the competitions like in the
yeah.
80s and stuff. Like,
World
yeah,
that
some of these people I
tons of
don't even
names.
know.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And how would you know that? That's the point. My
yeah,
point is, I'm not expecting anybody to know me at all. I'm always shocked when somebody does know me. I'm more shocked than you would believe, especially since what I just said qualifies me for being known. When somebody says that they know me because of that shit, I'm usually like, say word. You saw that? I'm, I'm usually shocked that somebody saw that. So you acting
yeah,
crazy because you did 2 shows. Bitch, what, man? If you don't sit your ass down somewhere, you did 2 shows and you showing your ass. Do something besides the show, and then let's talk about it. Make some money using your physique outside of OnlyFans, and let's talk about it. But don't get me wrong, I have an OnlyFans page.
yeah.
However,
I'm aware.
the amount of times that I'm actually on that page, yeah, slim and none. When I get there, I get there. If I don't get there, well. But the point is, I made my mark outside of the sport and will continue to do that. They're making their mark off of 2 shows and showing their ass talking about, ooh, you asking them to do an interview. They acting like, oh, should I? What? You lucky somebody talking to you. If you don't sit your ass down somewhere, like you're not important enough. And what you're doing doesn't change the face of like society. You get what I'm saying? Like somebody
Right.
once asked me, what's it like to be a pro? And I said, okay, so let me just put you on to something. When I turned pro, if I didn't pay my Sprint bill, which was sitting on my kitchen table when I got home, I guarantee you Sprint would have cut off my phone. You don't change anything by being a pro. Pro is just something you accomplish. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't
Yeah.
solve cancer. It hadn't, for the last I saw, as many pros that we have walking the earth right now, homeless people still exist. People are still going without food. You get what I mean? Like war still happens. So when winning a show somehow or the other changes the face of society, you have a right to be like, I am the shit. Until then, you did a show. Be humble. Be grateful. You had great genetics. That was your lucky day because a lot of it is the stars aligned for you that day. You don't know who's going to show up. So humble yourself. Instead, you walking around like you're the next best thing since sliced bread. If you don't, like that annoys fire out of me,
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I understand.
So,
Boss Deep got a question. She still shoots for all film.
for who
You ever
films?
did that?
Oh,
All
oh,
film?
no. Nah, I've never shot for them. I shot the
Uh,
She Muscle,
she
Impulse
muscle.
Pro, She Muscle. So I'm all over She
Well, I
Muscle.
got some pictures. I got some
Okay,
pictures of you.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that was done in our actual gym. That was at a show. I was
Which
feeling
one?
the.
This one?
No, that was at the gym.
Okay.
That one is at the Tampa. No, that was at
You look
the
nice.
Europa. Thank you. Well, the makeup artist was acting a clown that day. They were having a competition between each other, and one of them was doing my makeup, which they weren't supposed to. So that makeup was amazing. So I was just taking a picture because I
Mm.
like the makeup.
Yeah, you looked cute. Yeah,
Thank you, thank you. That was
yeah.
actually I don't even. Oh, that
At
was
Toronto, I think
yeah.
Toronto,
Okay, with the
Toronto.
Toronto
Yeah,
Pro. Okay, so this show
yeah.
right here.
I got like I took a snapshot from on YouTube.
Oh, let me explain something to you about that show. That show is comical. I missed my actual prejudging. Missed the show completely.
Yeah.
And when I got that, well, what they told me was okay. So you could pose tonight, but we can't judge you. I was like, that's fair. So when I get back there, my music doesn't work. I'm like, can anything else go wrong with this show? Well, let me just let you know what
Mm.
happened. The person who's supposed to oil up the bodybuilders, right? So you got one job. You had a bodybuilding show. What's the first thing you're supposed to have? Oil. Didn't
Right.
have enough oil. Told the competitors, I do not have enough oil. You got one job. How do you not have enough oil? How do you show up without oil? That was crazy. So everything, you can see where this was going. It was just like one bad thing after the other. So my music doesn't work at when I come back. And all I did was go, okay, just play anything, man. At this point, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. So I'm on stage, and I'm like, if you watch the video, you'll see me. I'm just standing there because I'm waiting to see what the beat is. I never heard that song before. I didn't know what I was
Yeah.
posing to, so I didn't practice it. So I just and when I heard the beat, I just started moving. That's of all the posing routines, the worst posing routine I've ever done. And of course, that's the one that they post. I can't win for losing.
Yeah. You what place you was in this show? Like
I did. I didn't place. I didn't even. I wasn't in the show. You got to
oh,
remember,
okay.
I I missed the prejudging. I missed the part where you're
Oh,
supposed
you
to get
missed the
judged.
prejudging.
Yeah, I
Oh,
missed it
wow.
completely. When I got there, I was in the building. Don't get me wrong. I was in the actual building. But the way they had, okay, so the night before they tell us where the show is going to be. So I was where I was supposed to be, but they had changed it without, I didn't know. So when I get there, the show, which is supposed to be on the lower level, is now on the upper level. So I'm on the lower level wondering where is everybody? And nobody could tell me because the amateur show is happening at the same time the pro show is happening. So
Yeah.
when they finally figured out where I belong, they couldn't figure out how to get me there because the expediters don't know shit. This is the worst thing ever. They finally get me upstairs in time for me to see the entire bodybuilding, all the women walking
Mm.
upstage. So I was like, come the fuck on. Come to
Wow.
find out, when I find out is the year before, another competitor had gotten lost in the venue. I was like, so this happens every year and y'all don't rectify this? What the fuck is wrong with you? They have competitors coming from all different countries, and half the time, none of them make it to the stage because they don't know how to corral the competitors and get them to where they belong. I was like, y'all are the fucking worst. So that show was never done again. However, for the rest of that
Mm.
competitive season, everywhere I went, all the people who followed me and followed bodybuilding would make jokes. So if I showed up at a venue, like I was at the Chicago Pro for the athletes meeting, when I come out, all the all the fans are like, "You do know the show is here tomorrow, right?" I was like, "Oh, word, y'all got jokes." So that, and it was nice. It was actually nice because it showed that the fans were with me. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want
Yeah.
me to not do my thing, and I thought that was pretty fucking cool. But it followed me for the whole year.
Wow.
Every show I was at,
Wow.
people were clowning me, man. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know, but sometimes the bodybuilder fans, they're a little annoying sometimes. But
Nah,
they show they I don't know if me. I'm like I like muscle women. I wouldn't say that I'm a female bodybuilder fan. I just like women with muscles and stuff.
well,
That was my thing.
okay, the only time I ever saw a fan be annoying was one year. One of my friends, her fans, had followed us into the tanning area, and nobody's supposed to be back
Okay.
there but the athletes. And so she was trying to let them know nicely, hey, you're not supposed to be here. And he just kept talking and trying to like stay longer than he was supposed to. And finally, it got to the point where she had to tell him, "Listen, man, if you don't leave, I'm gonna call security." Like for real,
Mm.
because we're naked back there. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this
Right.
is
Right.
you beyond personal space now. You
Sexual
violated
harassment. Yeah.
exactly. Mind you, he looked like okay. When you think of a nerd, like the true description of one with the pocket protector, the high water pants, beige plaid shirt, thick
Yeah.
glasses. That was him. And then he was missing like pieces of his hair. It was crazy.
Oh man. Wow. Wow. He said, "Yes, Lord, her body is a work of art." Yeah, it is. How
Oh,
you
thank
work
you.
on your abs? Cause I noticed you're more noticed with your abs. Your
Uh,
abs is really like rock
yeah,
solid. All the way George Page, he did like a lot of comparison videos with you and other bodybuilders. You
yeah.
have that physique.
Well,
It's,
I first of all I thank George because George is good people's. Hey George, in case you're watching, um, for my abs, oddly enough, it was the first body part to show up on my whole body. Mainly because I was
right,
obsessed by him. I mean, no, I was obsessed, like obsessed. I had to have him, and from the time going for the first show I won, moving forward, I was focused on it. Till finally it got to be so pronounced that they told me you can't work on them anymore because the rest of my body had to grow in around my abs. So for
right.
like 4 years, I didn't do abs at all, and they stayed
No,
where they are. Yeah, I barely do abs now.
no. I do like these ab exercises. I used to work on my abs also, but not at the level that your abs are. But I used to do like leg raises and stuff, and sit
They
ups and
work.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
yeah.
didn't do sit-ups. I never did sit-ups. I never did
Nah, you never
sit-ups.
did that.
Mm-mm. I did leg raises, weighted leg raises. Uh, what else did I do? This thing called the Rockies that I stole from Rocky Four. The
Oh,
wheel.
okay. I know
I
what you're
mean,
talking about. Like he goes up and down or something like that.
yeah,
Like
he
he goes
drops
all
his
the way to
body,
the
right, and then
yeah.
comes back. Yeah. So I mastered that to the point where I would drop my body just above the bench. I'm like this and hold it and then come out of it. So there's a video of me somewhere doing it. I think one of my friends took it. But later on, we kind of went overboard. We did it where my client was doing the film and he played red light, green light with me. So wherever he said red light, I had to stop. Then he'd
Mm.
say green light, red light, green light, red light. And he was like, yo, I cannot believe you had that kind of control. I was like, only for the camera. Only for the camera. As soon as he put that camera down, I punched him.
What's the exercise was really hard for you besides that?
Um, what's the exercise that's hard for me? Oh, we used to do one where it was a weighted leg raise. So you put yourself in the straps and you're hanging above, whatever contraption. And you put weights in your feet, leg raise, right? So you would lift your legs up, they would take it higher and then let
Yeah.
go. And you had to catch it in midair and then lower it down. So
Mm.
that was pretty hard, but I got good at it. When it first started, I could only do 5 pounds. By the time we ended, which is why I had to stop doing abs, I was able to do 25 pounds, just like that. So I lift my legs up with the weight. They would take me higher, let go, and I would lower it to the ground. You do it 15 times, you're going to have some abs. I would guarantee
Yeah,
you
you
that.
gotta show me. I gotta see that. I gotta see that.
I
But
will
with
film it one day and then send it to you over
it,
Instagram.
like in your competition, like what you had to like work on for like the judges to for you like the last competition, like what you had to work on mostly.
Um, every competition is your whole body. In my particular
Mm.
situation, it's always my legs, and in particular my hamstrings. So I've
Um,
never known for like I don't grow out. I grow dense. So I will never get wide, but I'd always be hard. So if you're getting hard, you don't necessarily do this. I would have to make my muscles look like they were doing that, even though they weren't doing that. So that was the thing I had to work on the most. Um, hamstrings, mostly because I posted a video recently that said hamstrings are not my jam because
mm,
hamstrings really are not my jam. I hate them. I hate them like poison, but I have to do them. So I would focus more or less on trying to make them come out a little bit more, be a little bit thicker, have a little bit more body, that kind of thing. My legs, again, it's not, they don't do this, they don't widen, they just go
Right.
like that. So I would get away with things based on conditioning. My conditioning would always take the precedence before like width. And if I could cheat with a pose, I could steal points from somebody who was smaller and more wider than me because they weren't as
Right.
angular and they weren't as athletic looking as I was. So I could steal points that way. And if they didn't know how to pose, forget it. They were done. They were done. I
Yeah.
could just steal points because I could pose. So those were the
Yeah.
things mostly that I worked on: legs, hamstrings, making sure my glutes were striated. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Hey, see that picture? That picture is a
Right.
very interesting picture. That picture is the same pose done by the same person, something like how many years apart? 5 years apart. And
Yeah.
my waist is 29 inches in one and 29 inches in one and 23 inches in the other.
No,
But I but
I'm
I
not good
know
at math. Is it big?
but
Is that big?
yeah, well, nah. So 23 obviously is much smaller than 28 or 29 inches, but
Okay.
one was bodybuilding and one was physique. So,
All right.
but I look the same in the picture.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's
How
why.
do you? Yeah. I notice like now, like in bodybuilding, like like physique, like somebody like in physique, they look like somebody in bodybuilding. Figure, they look like somebody in
Physique.
physique.
Yeah.
In
Okay, I can tell
bikini,
you.
they look like wellness.
Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you how that had transpired. When they took out female bodybuilding. So you
Right.
got to think bikini. This is the before wellness. So wellness wasn't even a thing yet. But let's put wellness in it. So it looked like this: bikini, wellness, figure, physique, bodybuilding. Right? Those are the categories. Well, if you take out the thing that everything came from, which is female bodybuilding, now you got nothing to set the standard. You get what I mean? To set the this is it. This is the height. So now everybody's gonna just flip flop all over each other. Whereas when you put female bodybuilding back in, they being the queens of the sport, then everybody, the hierarchy falls back into place, so to speak. See what I mean? So when they took them out, people just kind of like, well, we can be as muscular as we want. You're not supposed to be. That's what female bodybuilding was for, but they took them out. So women's
Mm.
physique became the more muscular, right? Followed by figure, which if you put them side by side on a good day, you can't tell the difference
Yeah,
unless
I know.
uh,
I know.
unless you notice their heels. Like one is wearing heels and
Yeah.
one isn't. Well, wellness is just a slightly bigger version of bikini. Each division is just a
Right.
slightly different, a slightly bigger version than the other. But when they put women female bodybuilding back, then it kind of like then you can see, okay, this is bikini, this is wellness, this is figure, this is physique, bodybuilding. Because now you have the
Right.
dynamics where you have the standard being female. That's where everybody else came from. When you take out their origin, you're gonna get messiness, and that's how come it got messy. When they put them back in, it's gonna take a minute for everybody to fall back into line. See what I mean?
What's your thoughts now in this current and like the from the recent Olympia and the other shows and stuff like that?
Um, all right. Right now, my favorite divisions are uh, figure, right? Classic, 212. Those are my favorite because on any given day, anybody could be the champion because these people are coming hard. Like they're coming into their
Right.
like triple A game. Now, as far as what's transpired, like last Olympia was good because they kept changing. They kept changing. They haven't done that in forever. Usually, you have one champion for the rest of your life. Now, anybody can be the champion, and I think that makes the game more interesting. You know what I mean? Now, in some cases, the standard is the standard. It is what it is, and rightfully
Right.
so. But when I see it changing, that means that you're actually doing your job. You're letting people stand in front of you and judging them accordingly. You're not just saying, okay, that's our favorite, so he's gonna get the win. No, I seen the favorite lose. So that makes it interesting. You see what I'm saying? I think it's awesome
Mm.
that you have these now people, yeah, you gotta do your job. You can't just show up and think, oh, I was the winner last year, so I'm gonna win this year. Now you have to fight to keep your place. Makes it way more exciting to watch the game now. Way more exciting.
Yeah. 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 Well, like, but what's what's it like being like a fitness trainer? I didn't like change different subjects, but it was just coming to my head.
All right. What's what's it like? Well, we were just talking about this. So you are one part psychologist, one part coach, one part cheerleader, one part like you got to do a lot of things being a fitness trainer. A lot of it is getting into the mind of the person in front of you and then
Right.
talking them into talking to them so that you can get an understanding of where their mind is at and also
Right.
understanding what words trigger them to certain actions because some people don't think that they're competitive until
Mm.
you catch them and they didn't know they were competitive but while they're doing something you kind of acknowledge hey you know it's not by on purpose. You just started saying it sort of off the sideways. You're like, yo, I saw this client, and not that I compare. I don't do that, but you can say it kind of like offhand, like, you know, 2 weeks ago you did such and such like this. Today you're doing it like that. You watch them, you like get mad. All of a sudden they want to outdo. You see what I'm saying? So you realize, oh, you're competitive. And I utilize that to help me get them where they need to be. But I enjoy fitness training or what the being of it is to get them to understand how great they are, their own potential. So when people see me, like I had a client who never saw me. They saw me like this all the time. And one day they happened to catch me while I was getting ready to compete. And they were like, wait, you look like that?
Mm.
And you never show that off? I was like, it's your hour. This is your time. So it's about your greatness. It has nothing to do with me. I don't want you comparing yourself to me anyway. We're two different people. You have different
Right.
parents. So how is that going to help you knowing what I look like? Is it going to make you stronger? She had to admit, no. I said, okay then. So worry about you. In this hour, it's about them, not about me. So a lot of it is getting their best and getting them to see themselves in their own greatness, in their own power. And the best part about it is when I get them to do things they didn't think they could do ever.
Mm.
And it gives me like joy. So my success stories as a fitness trainer have sometimes nothing to do with their bodies, but where they wound up. So I had a client once who I got him when he was 19 years old, and he wanted to do a show. He was only 125 pounds and maybe 5 feet tall. So he's a little guy. And at the same time, his mother's telling him, you gotta go to school, you gotta go to school. He didn't want to go. Well, he didn't want to go because they told him he was stupid and he had ADD and blah, blah, blah. So, but I saw him differently because he'd be on the floor and he could quote back to me today things I said to him back then, right? He's now
Yeah.
30, now he's about 34 years old. So that's a
Mm.
long time ago. And he remembers things that I told him then. So I know he's not stupid. What it was is the stuff in school wasn't interesting. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So, long story short, he did his first show. He won his first show. He did amazing. And right after that, he tells me, hey, I want to go to school. I didn't tell him to go to school. He chose to go to school. But he chose to go to school because he saw himself do something. He accomplished something for himself. And so now it made all the other, and it was hard because we didn't spare him anything. All the other things coming behind it made it look easy. Or he realized I can do it. He goes to school, he gets his bachelor's degree, and then one day he hit me up. He's going for his master's degree. Same kid. And now he has his master's degree, I think in education and physical education or something like that, or whatever it's exercise science. Long story short, he's teaching with the same teachers who told him he was stupid. How cool is that?
Wow.
So
Wow.
that is me being a fitness trainer. That's what I think fitness training is. It's not just changing a person's body, but changing their total outlook on who they are as a human being, what they can accomplish, what they can actually do outside of the gym. Because what you're going to do in the gym actually reflects what you're going to do outside the gym. So he was so
Mm.
focused in the gym, I knew he was going to be great in school. I didn't even have to get his grades because he would send me his grades. I didn't need them. I knew he was going to be good because he was focusing. He was focused in the gym. If you watch people in the gym a long time, like I watch everybody, you start to notice things. So I'll know how you are as a human being based on how you operate in the gym. So if you jumping from
Yeah.
thing to thing with no rhyme or reason, I know you're like that in the outside world. You have no focus. If you come in the gym, you have a definitive plan. I know you have like, okay, we have an agenda. You carry things out from beginning to end. I also know what you're probably going to be like in bed based on how you operate on the floor. I can tell a lot from people.
Yeah.
Didn't see
Yeah,
that one coming.
that's funny. That's
It's the
funny.
truth.
That's funny. That's funny. I don't really, I never really did jumps. Like if I did the jump, like if like a friend would invite me, or like one time, I was locked up at one point, and I was, I would work out too, and I would like run and stuff, but
Yeah.
I didn't really do the gym. I never really did the gym like that. I always did like the pull-up bars.
Calisthenics. Calisthenics. Yeah.
Yeah, calisthenics. Yeah, I was like more of a calisthenics man, and I did
Yeah.
yoga, and I do
Yeah.
meditation and all that stuff.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
never, yeah, I never really like hit the gym. I was trying to put my father to the gym, but he didn't really he's not
Like
really
it.
into that. Like, yeah, he's
Right.
not. Yeah, he's not. He just want to sleep. So
Well, here's
now he do like physical therapy and stuff like that.
right, right. But understand this: the gym isn't for everybody. And what I usually
Right.
recommend to people is that look, you find something that you're passionate about physically, and you'll chances are you'll stick with it. If it's something somebody's making you do, and it doesn't matter if it's eating correctly to change your health, or doing cardio, or working out, if you don't like it, if it's not a part of who you are as a person, if it's not something that if you have to be made to do it, you're not going to do it. However, if it's something that you
That's true.
gravitate, yeah, if you gravitate to it naturally, there's more of a chance of you carrying it out for the rest of your life because it's something that you really actually do. It's really part of your lifestyle. So if your father didn't like, I mean, look, my mom's concept of working out was she goes in the backyard and swept her backyard. That was her. That was it,
Oh, what?
right? She would go in the backyard and sweep her backyard. That's her concept
Oh,
of
wow.
exercise, right? So when she got me, I'm pretty sure she was like, "How the hell do I explain this kid?" Because I was always athletic, and she was never athletic. So where did it come from? Well, I was just that kid. I breathe athletic stuff. So if you kept me pinned down too long, I would wind up breaking something in your house. And she didn't want that, so she would let me loose on the public. And that's how I got to be involved with track and baseball, martial
mm,
arts, boxing, you name it, I pretty much did it as a kid and as an adult. So it makes naturally good sense that I would become a personal trainer because I understand the mindset of how to get somebody to do something. Because it was used on me a lot, you know? And I learned to listen. So you can't be a good leader if you can't be a good follower. And
right.
I was actually a really good follower if the person leading me was about their shit and didn't take my shit at all. So I am, first, let me say thank you to every man that has ever helped me because most guys that helped me, wow, they didn't care about my gender. They just cared that I performed properly. And they trained me a standard, like, if the standard is here, I was always trained up here. So I'm good because those guys saw excellence. They didn't see anything else but excellence. And I have to thank each and every one of them for believing in me because they didn't have to teach me the way they taught me, you know?
Mm,
So, using their information to make me a good trainer is what makes me a good trainer. I don't I don't see your can't. I only see what you're capable of. And I think that's what they saw in me. They saw my capabilities. They didn't see, oh, well, you're a girl. Oh, you can't do. Oh, you're short. Oh, you're skinny. No, you're a girl and you're skinny. That's exactly why your black ass is gonna get up there and do them damn chin ups for me.
do like do mostly your male? Who do you like? Who do you prefer? Like the guy or the guys or the girls? Like, is there a
Uh,
Pacific? Do you prefer?
not, no, because I know how hard it is for women to be in the shape that they get into. I know how hard it is. Uh, for the men, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but for the men, it's a matter of, in most cases, how they carry themselves after they get the body that they want. See what I mean? Because women, okay, so for a woman to get muscular, the work she has to put in is twice that of a guy. A guy can lift and all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. He can even lift wrong and still get a result. A woman lifts wrong, she's going to get injured. So when I am appreciating a physique, I actually appreciate the effort put into it, the discipline, and the dedication. After that, I listen to how the person speaks. If you're saying nonsense and being a dick, I don't care how great you look, I could give two shits about you. But as far as, who I look at, I appreciate both genders for their discipline because it's not easy to do what they do at all. I appreciate women a little bit more because I know how much harder they have to do it. And I get a little upset for men who don't appreciate or want to take away their effort by saying, oh, she used drugs and she still had to work. Same thing as if somebody's looking at a guy, oh, he uses drugs. He still had to work. I don't care how much if you use drugs and you don't work, you're gonna look like the opposite sex
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
drugs don't have no place to go, so you're gonna look crazy. So I appreciate both genders, but for different reasons. And at the end of the day, I appreciate them both for the work ethic that they put forward. After that, it's what comes out of their mouth that matters the most to me. So you could be a fucking great physique, but say something stupid and I'm already over you. And that's male
Mm.
or female. It's male or female.
So you dealt with a lot of would you say you dealt with a lot of cockiness at a lot of them from the guys?
Oh yeah.
Because we got that ego sometimes a little bit, not all, but
No,
some.
it's not all, but also I've had I don't know if it's the luck or the the ill fate to sit in the audience as an athlete, but dressed like this, so nobody knew what I was, and I could hear for men speaking in the audience about the women on stage, and that
Right.
changes how you watch them after that. So if I'm in the audience, and listen, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, male or female, right? But if I'm listening to you literally shit on every woman in the stage or on stage,
Mm.
I'm gonna look at you as an athlete and not like you at all. Cause I'm like, you sitting there bad mouthing everybody on stage. You don't see nothing positive about a one female. Everything is bad. Come on, man. You an athlete too. You want somebody to say that about you? So because they didn't know I was an athlete, they freely talking. So I get to hear it. And then somebody be like, "Oh, but that so and so, and he's this and that. He's a dick." And they're like, "Yo, but he's a dick." That's just me. He's a dick because I heard what I heard, and I know that he doesn't have respect. He don't have respect for himself because he's saying that about other people, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have respect for other people. Like he just doesn't have respect. So I'm not gonna give him any, one way or the other. I don't care what he won and who he is. I don't give a fuck. You're a dick. A dick is a dick is a dick is a dick. So because people look in the audience, I look like I can be figured sometimes. So if they're looking at female bodybuilders, they'll say something real fucked up about them, thinking I'm figured. You know what I mean? So I get to hear
Mm.
it, and then I'm looking at them like, oh, okay, I see you. And then when they see me backstage, right, at another show, and they realize I'm a female, they're like, yeah, keep it walking, man. Tell your story walking. I don't have nothing to do with you. Keep it moving. And they're like,
Wow.
but, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You never know. You never know. And why are you sitting there? Everybody's got something they're fighting against. You know what I mean? There's a
Right.
struggle. Everybody's got their own struggle. You sitting there knocking other athletes without any consideration of how hard it may or may not have been for them to get there does not do anybody any good. How about you just
Right.
celebrate the fact that they got on stage? I'm not saying everybody should be on stage, but look, it takes heart to get on stage in damn near nothing and have a bunch of strangers telling you suck. Facts. You see what I'm saying? And when you're talking about traveling to another state for somebody you don't know to tell you that you suck, that takes heart. And it don't matter if they're not good looking to you. Give that person credit for standing on that stage because that's not easy. Period. You know what I mean? So I get really messed up when I hear whether a male or a female athlete really being hard, like mean, like mean. Like I'll
Right. I
say some
understand.
shit. Yeah, I'll say some shit. I'm the worst. I'll be sitting there like, girl, what were you thinking? Like I'll say that. However, it's usually because you knew you were still holding water when you got on that stage. Why are you doing this? Or why you pick that bikini? You don't have the ass for that. Like I can see, my thing is based on the
Constructive
nuances.
criticism.
Right. Theirs is based on, yeah, I fucked her. And she was garbage in bed. You fucked who? You wish you fucked her. You wish she knew your name. Like, come on, stop it. Like, don't lie. You get what I'm saying? Like, all of that just has to stop. All of
Yeah. Well, see, what's her favorite gear supplement to use?
it. What's my favorite? What?
Favorite gear and supplement to use?
Okay. Um, recently, okay, so my favorite supplement would be, let me guess, let me think. Favorite supplement. Um, what am I using right now? I am using Spoiled Child. It's a collagen. I'm
Spoiled
old.
child?
Spoiled Child. It's collagen, and it tastes like pineapple orange Jello. So that's the
Mm.
reason I like using it. And it restores your collagen, makes your skin supple, grows your nails, grows your hair, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm old. So I like things that help my joints. My favorite gear, that's a whole other story. That could be anything. Anything to deal with cutting up. Any gear designed to cut you up. So, or recently I got turned on to T400, which makes you hella strong. Granted, I don't
Mm.
use a lot. I don't use a lot of it, but wow, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Do your reading, folks. I'm not endorsing you use it. I'm just saying read. Do yourself a favor. Read it. It's amazing. Um, but any supplement geared towards keeping you conditioned or cut up, that would be like where I where my heart is.
But when like when you get up, like what time when you go to work, like you're like a full-time trainer. Like what
Uh,
time like in the morning, like you get up like
oh,
four
okay,
o'clock or something like that?
okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let's be clear. My time for all of that is way back then. All right, I wake up
Oh,
at
okay.
like 7. I will have my first breakfast. I have to take care of my mom. Okay, she has dementia, so I get up, I have my breakfast. I then make her breakfast, and then I do what I do, which is either some form of laundry or whatever. I then
Yeah.
have my second breakfast because I'm still a bodybuilder at heart. I have my second breakfast, shower, take my first client virtually, get into work. So my workday starts at like 2 predominantly until about 8 o'clock at night. So 2 to 8, that's my sweet spot. That's my
Okay.
day. Yeah. So it
All
starts,
right.
I wake up at 7, but yeah, my time for training people at 9 in the morning, you sound crazy. I don't even want to talk to myself at 9 o'clock in the morning, let alone another human being at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, cause I interviewed there's some people I've heard say it, and there's people I've interviewed, and they said that this one lady, she gets up at 4 o'clock to be a
Train,
trainer and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
yeah,
nah,
I'm like,
nah,
wow,
not me. I'll tell you
that's a
now.
lot.
Yeah, what? Just you saying that made me sorry. Made me start yawning. I'm like, I'm not waking up at no 4 o'clock. If I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom and then turn around and go back to bed, I'm not till 4. What? No. My clients who are trainers wake up at 4 in the morning because they have 6:30 clients, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning clients. I'm looking at them sideways because by the time they see me, they're ready to go to bed. And it's only 1 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And they see,
Mm.
that's what, see that 4 o'clock? See, that's, look, you look like you're an old lady right now, looking crazy. Yawning on the floor at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's a heck of a discipline, man. Like, cause this is other person I interviewed, and they got, I think they had like a heart attack or something like that,
What?
and cause they was overworked and stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you, they was
Yeah,
overworked.
yeah, no.
That
Okay. No, let's just, no, no. Here's the thing. And this is what you got to understand. I enjoy my job immensely. I am not here to die for my job. I'm not gonna die for my job.
but they own a
I
gym that to cut
well, that's
they
different.
own.
They own the
Yeah.
right. They own the facility, which is another thing. My friends are like, "You should own a gym." No, I don't. I don't need to own nobody's gym. I'm good doing what I
Yeah.
do. Because you, this is me. If I own a gym and you come in my gym acting stupid, I will give you your money back and tell you to go someplace else. Which means my gym would have no members because people are bound to do something stupid.
Right.
Period. So I have no members. Now where would I be? I got no members in a big old gym. That's how you get a heart attack. That's how you wind up dying. I am not for the bullshit. No, no. So yeah, having a heart attack, that's no. Over some gym, no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember she said that. I was like, wow. Cause I mean, I noticed, like, me understanding bodybuilders, like, they trying to be healthy, but if they overdo it,
Okay,
it's
to be
a lot of them
okay,
pass away or get sick, and
okay. To be a bodybuilder is to be excessive. These people are, myself included, a lot of the times we don't know, okay, we really don't know when to stop. It's also what makes us very good at what we do because our mindset
Right.
is we're going to go until we get it finished, very completist. Um, that's the same, that same drive is what drives us to the grave because we don't know when to stop. I
Yeah.
learn by watching other people, so I don't have to make all the mistakes myself. I learn from other people's mistakes. So if I see you overdoing it, and even though everybody's telling you you need to chill, you need to stop, you might die, and then you die because you didn't
Right.
listen, you think I'm gonna keep going or I'm gonna stop? I'm the biggest advocate of a nap. I'm a or take a. You need to sit down and chill out. I'm a big advocate of that.
Yeah.
You need to. You can go to the movies today. See ya. You don't gotta tell me twice. Like I am the most take a minute for yourself human being you will ever meet. When I need that kind of aggressive push until you finish, that's for a project. If I'm not doing that project, you ain't never gonna see that attitude come from me. I will be like, no, what? Oh, you said nap. I'm right there with you. Come on, let's go. I love a nap. I love to chill. I don't see the point in overdoing anything. I've done it already. You know what I mean? I've already lived the excessive life. So now it's time to just maintain. When I need to be excessive, it's for like that much time for a photo shoot. Other than that, you ain't never seen that behavior from me unless I am pushed to do it, which almost never
Yeah.
happens anymore. See, when you're in competition, you're constantly pushed to do it. Not now.
Right.
So no, you ain't never gonna see that. 4 o'clock in the morning, drop dead. What's that? No.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a lot. I wouldn't want to be a bodybuilder, man. Like, cause it's like it's really like it's like a hard discipline.
It can be if you don't make it your lifestyle. So
Yeah.
I don't mind um, routine based on excellence. I don't mind
Right.
that. But if you're just like somebody like, well, why don't you? You could have been in the army. You'd have been good. No, I wouldn't have. I'd have been in Leavenworth. I'm telling you that right now. First time you yell in my face is the last time you're yelling in my face. I'm gonna punch the shit out of you, and then I'm going to jail. So there's discipline because you want something better for yourself, which is what
Right.
bodybuilding is. And then there's discipline because somebody's forcing you to do it. So if you're
Right.
making it a forced situation, of course it's not for you. But if you're making it because you see on the other side of that, you're going to be a better person because of it, you're more apt to adhere to the rigorous, the rigors of it, which is what most people are driven by. The idea of excellence or being better than I was before. And most of these people doing this, they got some fucked up shit going on behind there that you don't know about. There's
Right.
a lot of psychological damage that happened to some of these people. Somebody told them they sucked. Somebody told them they weren't good looking, or a girl left them because they didn't have the right type of body, or a guy didn't like them because he didn't like her physique. So they're in here pushing it because they're trying to show somebody something that doesn't probably don't even remember them, but in their head, it's staying with them.
It's
So
them
there's a lot of
demons. It's demons.
yeah. It's like there's a lot of damaged people in fitness that most people don't realize. So what you see in this outward, look at me, blah blah blah, that's an insecurity
This a
outward.
movie like I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's a
Yeah, yeah.
movie I seen one time. It was a samurai movie. It was like somebody was saying what use of a strong body if you don't have a strong mind? And that
Exactly right.
yeah,
Yes.
that
Yes,
was deep.
and that's it. And no, because it's the truth. It's the same thing as when we first started talking. You and I said we both know people who look a certain way, but you would rather not know them. So they look beautiful, and then when they talk to you, you're like, "Good God, I wish you would get the hell away from me." Same concept. So in fitness, you have the people who took the time to not just develop their physique, but also their mind and their spirit. And then they utilize bodybuilding for what it was really meant to be. And then there's some people who just utilize it for what Instagram makes it out to be. Look at me,
Right.
I'm the greatest, blah, blah, blah. You're like, if you were the greatest, you wouldn't have to say you're the greatest. You just are the greatest. And everybody else knows it. Because if there's one thing I learned about this from the streets, is this: bad people, bad men, bad anything, never have to say they're bad. You ever notice that? Like, I knew a guy who killed people. I knew him. He never once said he killed them, but I knew he killed people. How did I know that? You read it off of his body. He didn't never walk around telling everybody he did criminal things, but you knew he was a criminal. Okay, then. Point taken. Usually, if you are that thing, you don't have to say you're that thing. You
Say,
just
do it.
exist as that thing. Exactly. And when you see somebody on Instagram doing all that, uh, you don't think you're that great. Now, me, I know why I have my pictures up on my. This is recent business, but used to be my page was completely different. My my social marketer changed, told me to change my page. My page used to be jokes. You didn't even see my face, but every so often. Now I have to do it because branding and so on and so forth. So before, I could give a fuck if you knew what I look like or not.
Well, I may put this reel together. You want to check it out? How was posing for you?
Yeah, I saw. Thank you.
No, no. How was pose? How? Yeah. How was posing for you? Like, is it hard for you or?
Um, it's the least favorite part of it, but once I start, I enjoy it. Mainly because it is still a skill set and you should practice. People don't know this, but you have to practice. You should be practicing. Um, Mainly because while everyone has the same muscles in the same places, your insertions and your body type makes it different. So you have to know what poses look good on your body. So not every pose looks good on everybody. So you have five women doing a front double bicep. Well, my legs and my friend's legs, my friend's legs might be bigger than mine. She could pose a different way than I can pose because if I did it, I'd look like a straw doing the same shot. Not It's not attractive. But if I pose the way my body says to pose, I look like I have as big a legs as she does, based on the fact that I know how to set the pose for my body, which is the
Mm,
thing. It's a skill set that if you don't practice, you'll have a great body, but it's what's separating you from winning is because you never learn how to pose for your body. You're posing for
okay.
someone else's body. And then you can't figure out, well, wait, if I have, why am I not winning? Well, you're also not posing to match your physique,
Oh,
which is different than posing for your body type. So it's an art form.
right. You got a question from
Okay.
Money J 2023. Does Roxanne ever get mentioned that she looks like Iris Kyle a little bit, or
Oh
think
my
she can
God.
be Iris' sister? Yeah,
Every
you do kind of
yeah,
look like her a little bit.
no,
But I think I heard a lot of people don't like her
okay.
because
Well,
she,
all right. So this is the story of me and Iris Kyle. I met Iris Kyle a long time ago, and she's really nice to me. So I can't speak for anybody else.
right.
Um, Iris remembered me at a show when I was still amateur. She was at least this time maybe three-time, four-time Miss Olympia, and she said, "Oh, you're the one with the abs." There you go. Now, move us into the future.
That's what she
I
told
go,
you?
that's what she told me. Um, she actually said I have better abs than she did, which I found that to be ridiculous. But I
Yeah.
digress. So, fast forward to the 2009 Arnold Amateur. I'm there. She's not there. This guy chases me through the venue, through the expo, thinking I'm Iris Kyle. And wouldn't believe I wasn't, even though I said I was not Iris Kyle. Fast forward even more, I'm at the 2021 Olympia,
Yeah.
and my friend had to act like my bodyguard because everybody thought from the time I walked into the venue to the time we flew out that I was Iris Kyle. Everybody. It got so bad. It got so bad that we said the next time you come out here or you go to any venue, any expo, we're gonna make you a shirt that says "I'm not Iris Kyle." That's how bad. That's how bad it really, really got. Like it got really, really bad. Some guy actually gonna he was gonna fight me because he was drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are at a gym and I was leaving and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, and so my friend was like, "Nah, that's not Irish Kyle." I was like, "Yo, I'm not Irish Kyle," because why am I gonna say I'm somebody I'm not? So he was like really getting heated, and, and he was gonna fight. Like, dude, I'm not Irish Kyle. He really thought because he was high and drunk that I was just trying to diss him. I just didn't want to sign that autograph. I was like,
Oh.
I'm not, I'm not Irish Kyle, bro. You relax. Like, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do, even when I'm in New York. I'm on the bus going home in Brooklyn, New York. And this guy was on the bus with me at 10 o'clock at night. He's like, yo. I was like, I'm not Irish Kyle. He's like, oh, because I was like, let me ask you something. Irish Kyle would be on a bus in Brooklyn, New York at 10:30 at night. Does that make sense to you? He goes, true that, but you still look like her. So yeah,
I
I
didn't
get
realize you was in New York. I didn't realize you was in New York City. I'm in New York City. I'm in Brooklyn.
yeah. Well, what part of Brooklyn?
Flatbush.
Me too. What part of
Yeah.
Flatbush? Yeah, what's your
On
street?
Lenox Road, Lenox Road in Bedford, Bedford Avenue.
Okay, you're on the other side of me. I'm on 51st and Church.
Oh, word. 51st
Yeah,
and
man.
Church.
Yeah. We close. Not walking distance, but we close enough. Yeah. Like
Okay.
if I had to take a car to you, it'd be like maybe 10 minutes.
I didn't know you was right there. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I was because it started like when you was kind of explaining stuff. I'm like, should I ask her? Because I don't want to seem like I'm a creep or nothing like that. Or
Nah, nah,
you
nah,
know,
nah. Nah. We from the same hood, son.
yeah, yeah.
Same hood. So
Boss
it's
DP, he got a question for you. I don't know.
yeah,
He probably trolling, but who she got? 49ers or Chiefs?
man, I don't even watch football to tell you anything useful about it.
You
Sorry, I
go.
got nothing. I got nothing, man.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny. Yeah, he said this is a dope interview. Thank you, Boss D.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Iris is amazing though. And
Iris is
then
beyond
he,
amazing.
yeah, I've seen her, compete and stuff. I've seen her in other things, but I've seen her
Yeah,
compete.
she is not a game. She is not a game. She's for
Yeah,
real. She's for real. I mean, like I said, other people may not like her. she's usually nice to me, so I got nothing to say. I have nothing to say. She's usually nice to me, so that's where we're gonna leave that.
Yeah, yeah, like I was hearing that, like, people they didn't really like her personality. They like mostly like Andrea Shaw's personality because
Yeah,
she's very
Andrea's
charismatic and stuff.
yeah, she's outgoing. She's outgoing, and like I said, she's not to say that Iris isn't sweet. Iris is very cool with me.
Right,
Andrea is just more. She's more people friendly. So, she shows up at places and will caca and kiki with you and throw her arm around you and show up. Like if you tell her, yo, I'm gonna be at this gym because she comes out to New York, right? And
right,
she goes to a gym that we're both frequent. If she's coming in, the last time I told her, I said, you coming in, you gotta let me know so that we'll come over and we'll work out. Not together, we don't have to work out here, but definitely just to keep company. And she's like, bet, as soon as I come out, I'll let you know. And we have a mutual friend that goes to that
right,
gym. So it's like she wants to be inclusive. You know
right,
what I mean? Like she's more like just genuinely people friendly.
right, right. Why do some people got a problem with Iris anyway?
Just what we just finished explaining. She's
Yeah,
very, she's more to herself and about business. That's at least my take about it. From what I can
yeah.
see, she's about business. She's not really, that person.
Well, when she start a podcast, I think he's referring to you.
Well, with me, I do a pot. I don't even know how to. I barely know how to do this interview.
I think you got what it takes because there's bodybuilders that they do podcasts. What's her name? This other podcast. I forget these. Paige Sabera. She do a podcast. The Fit Rock Star. What's her name? Isabel Terrell. She mostly she does that. She been interviewing a lot of people.
Okay.
Who else? Um. It's starting to, I starting to see like female bodybuilders emerge a little bit with the
Good.
podcast.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
As
it's
they
it's not
should.
very easy. Yeah, I mean,
As
I
and
think you would have more luck than me because I'm just yeah. I mean, I get stood up at times like, just be like, hey, how you doing? Because I got that from all the way George Page, and I'll be
right.
looking at his stuff. Yeah, I'll be like a little bit jealous. I'll be like, yo, how do you get all these women if interviewing all of them? But he know a lot of stuff, and
Right.
yeah, he
Right.
knows a lot of stuff. Like he was teaching me, and so,
Right.
it's like with me, I know a little bit, but there's other things I know also. I don't know as much as he do, but there's
Yeah.
other things I know.
But
But
what
it's
you
just
yeah, but what you bring to yours is first of all, yes, you're talking to the female athlete, the ones that you want and all this other stuff, but in your case, because you don't know so much, what you do is bring a more human aspect to it. It's not always just about the sport. It's actually about
right,
what they do outside. Like, what do you do? How you train, or how do you this, how you that? You're asking
right,
more like regular questions that have
right.
nothing to do with
I'm
actually
sorry.
sport. Whoa, hello, uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
There
Nah,
you go.
it's yeah. I'm kind of being bothered, so don't worry about it.
No, but you bring something else. You bring a common touch. It's not always the sport. The sport. So you touch on the sport, and you ask about where the person came from and how. But you are more. Your questions are more general, not necessarily constantly about the sport. So it
Right.
makes it a different kind of interview. Makes it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just try to like, try to understand, what the reason why they do it and what you do outside. because I mean, it doesn't define you because you doing bodybuilding. You know, it's just a part of your life. So you
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
yeah,
And that what that's what makes it a fun interview. Because like, I can do interviews where they're talking about the sport and I've done them. They're not bad. It's just you have to be able to, the person doesn't just exist in a bubble. They do other things. So you're making them, you're putting them in a small little container when they're a lot bigger than that container. So you don't do
right,
that. You actually let them have, you expand their container so they can tell you more about themselves, which is
right.
more interesting in my opinion.
Some
Unless you're,
people, some people is quiet. Some people are
they,
quiet a little bit. They don't say
uh,
too much. Then you
yeah,
gotta try to find ways to say
to make them
something.
see. Nah, if that's the case, then why did you say you're going to be on the show? You know it's an interview. Then say you don't want to do the interview. Don't make the person work 20 million times harder just to talk to you.
Right,
As soon as you said interview, I knew, okay, you have to talk. How else is anybody gonna get to go know you if you sitting there? Oddly enough, funny that you should say that. That's actually how I got a lot of the modeling gigs I got because I was very emotive. How I got the gig for Showtime was because the director. Okay, so first I had to go through a bunch of interviews, and they were phone
right,
interviews. So he never saw me. So the answers I gave were very thought provoking, and he was like, "Wow, nobody ever answered these questions like this before." I said, "Well, how many people do you speak?" He said, "Like a lot," but they wouldn't talk. And I thought that was odd. I mean, if you're a bodybuilder, right, it's a difference between working out, training, competing. When you work out, you look like almost everybody else. You just happen to go to the gym. When you train, your body looks different. And when you compete, it looks even more different. When you're talking
right.
to female competitors, right? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Yes, that's it. I'll wait.
Hey, my bad.
And you're back.
I got cut off. I got cut
Yeah,
off. My phone, it tends to do that.
yeah,
Like it'll black out.
yeah. So I noticed. But like I was saying, when you're talking to a female competitor, you ask her questions such as, "Well, what made you work out or train or look like this or work out like this?" And she said, "I just like the gym." You wouldn't like the gym, bitch. You really wanted to do something different. Why are you saying I just like to work out when you know good and goddamn well that is not? Because I just like to work out means you're gonna wear workout clothes, get a shake, do some cardio, and leave. What you did was put on 20 pounds of muscle. Why are you standing there telling this man some bullshit like I just like working out? What? So, with that being said, I would give a full answer. And he was like, holy shit. So the next one, he gave me another interview, lasted longer. And then finally
Right,
he's like, I gotta come meet you. I gotta come meet you. So he came, he said, "Do you mind if I film this?" I said, "No, go ahead and film it." He films it. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna build a whole documentary around you. Do you mind?" I was like, "You can do whatever the hell you want." And he's asking me questions and so on and so forth. That is how I get a lot of the gigs that I get. My answers are expansive. And most people, female bodybuilders in particular, tend to not, for whatever reason, I know, I kind of know the reason, but they don't, they don't expand because they've been, society has harassed them enough to where they feel like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't want to tell you anything. So they're not
right,
going to tell you anything. And I'm like, well, how else is anybody going to see you differently if you don't start opening up your mouth and telling them what you're about?
right,
So they can see you differently other than the way they perceive you, because it's just a
right,
perception. And every time you keep your mouth shut, you're feeding into the perception. See what I
right.
mean? Whereas I'm like, nah, man, this is my chance to let you know what the fuck is up. So I'll tell you what I need you to know. And
right,
if you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you as honest and a sincere answer as I can give you for myself. Because I'm not talking about for every female bodybuilder, but I am talking for Roxanne Edwards. In which
right,
case, you're gonna get so that you understand who I am, not think you know who I am. That ain't
right.
cool because you'll draw the wrong conclusion.
It's like, I mean, it's like I notice it's like a sport that it's not like, well, I know you know, but it ain't like mainstream, like
No,
basketball or
mm,
football. At one point,
subculture.
it was on TV, but it
Yeah,
ain't on no more. And
yeah,
there
well,
was one.
because they
They,
screwed that up. They screwed that up. But it's a subculture,
yeah,
and because it's a subculture, it has taken on a cultish kind of vibe to it. So you have weird shit. I'm pretty sure every sport has its weird things. Our sport
right.
seems to run amok with it. So you got your schmoes, you got the guys who just love muscle, who really love muscle. Yikes! So
I'm kind of
it
that guy. I'm kind of that guy, but not, not like not too
nah.
caught up into it like that. Like some people they kind of can be annoying to me, like because they know a lot of stuff, and it's like, oh, dude, come on, it's not that
No, no, no,
serious,
no, no,
man.
no, 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 no. Know a lot of stuff. And okay, have you read the comments on some of my pictures? Have you read the comments? Read the comments section sometimes. You'll understand what I mean by they really love muscle. it is like, what the fuck is this shit? So it's that kind of a sport. It breeds this kind of weird energy. And knowing that it's that way, that's why I think it's important that when people ask me to do an interview, I step forward to demystify,
Right,
what people think it is versus what it actually is. And to let them know that, it's occupied by a vast number of types. So you have lawyers, doctors, um, firemen, policemen, um, teachers. You have everything doing this sport or being about this sport.
right,
But you would never know that because people want to step forward and
right,
speak their truth, you know?
right.
And it's unfortunate. I think it's a very unfortunate thing. That's why I'm
You
here
think
now
you
talking
think
to you.
it'll change? Would you think it'll change, like maybe years to come?
No, because it hasn't. No. And I'm gonna tell you why. I don't think it's gonna change based on the fact that Instagram has made it cool to be a dick.
Right.
And because of that perception, it makes it even harder for people to step up and ask a question or say hello, or because these people are
Yeah.
putting themselves on this high hat pedestal. The other side of the story is if you're getting abused verbally, then probably not as much, but still it exists.
Yeah.
You're not going to speak up. So
Right.
either way, either version, it's not going to change. You're still going to
Right.
have that group that exists to haunt and, oh, she's a goddess. Oh my God. All that extra wild. You're going to have it. You're going to have it because of the pedestals, and you're going to have it because the people won't speak up. Either way, it's going to exist.
I got my moments when I do that, but I don't really like, I don't really get too caught up into it because it's like, look, man, I'm not gonna smash that. You know, I'm keeping it real. Like I gotta go back to reality. It's like a chick, like a woman that you see in the street. Like you see it, but you after a while, you're not gonna go crazy over it. I seen a couple today. It was nice looking women, and I'm like, whatever. When
Listen,
it happens, it happens. So
right. In the way I see it, especially since I've been on stage with some of the most beautiful women ever. They're a dime a dozen. It just is what it is. Like I'm not. I am grateful that I was put together the way I was put together. The universe saw fit to make me appear in this form.
Right.
I'm not. I'm not knocking it, but I also don't make it the reason you should talk to me. If you should talk to me at all, it's because I have a character. I'm about some
Right.
shit. This has happened to be the thing it's packaged in, but I don't make it the thing that you go after. It is on
Right.
Instagram because it is what it is. But in reality, you see me in everyday street clothing, you'd probably walk right past me and not even think twice, unless it was summer. In the summer, I'm gonna be more like, "Hello, hi, yes, look at I work out." But now, or just in general, not so much, because I'm aware of how like in New York, you can swing a dead cat and hit a beautiful woman. There are women everywhere that just are out, and it's not about being muscular. They're just beautiful women.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's a
So
lot of you.
yeah, trust me. So I still believe at the end of the day, the muscle thing is just something that is an extension of who I am.
Right.
It's my way of showing my inner strength outwardly. And if you happen to catch it, more power to you. But more often than not, I'm not one of those people who I don't throw it in your face. Even when I should, I don't. You trust me, I've had opportunity and I know I'm not don't. Don't do it. So I know where you're coming from with that. Yeah. So, it's all again, it's up to the woman in question. And because a lot of these women are coming, you don't know what people are, you don't know what battles people are fighting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, they're humans. They just happen to be dressed in muscle. But they're at the end of the day, humans, flawed.
Right.
And they have their own battles and their own shit that they're working through. And if you happen to catch
Right.
one, like you said, more power to you. You might want to put her back because she might be too much for you to have, not because muscularly she's just fucking crazy.
Yeah. 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 You're not lying. You got a friend over here, all the rage George Page. Have
Hey,
her tell
what's up?
you the story about Asha Hadley.
Uh, what about her? What
I
happened?
don't. I think I forgot. It said a lot to be a woman in this sport.
Yeah,
George, I think you gotta be Pacific because I forgot if you told me.
I mean, Asha has a beautiful body. I don't know what is he?
Yeah, you'll
Yeah,
probably
but
write it down.
all right, but look, my client just walked in, so I have to leave you.
No, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk with you, and thank you
Yeah,
for schooling
nah.
me. Yeah, thank
Listen,
you.
anytime. Listen, thank you for having me. Anytime you want me to come back, just hit me up. You know where to find me. Literally, you know where to find me. And
Yeah.
thanks to the guys who watched this podcast. Hello, everybody. It was nice meeting you, and hopefully, I'll see you again.
All right. Thank you.
All right,
Yo,
you're
thanks,
welcome.
thank everybody for coming through.
Yeah,
All the
man.
way, George Page, Balls Deep, Money, J 2023. He said, Balls Deep said, good night, beautiful. He said, the time you ate out or something like that. I forgot.
Oh Jesus! When we went to Louisiana, yeah, I'll tell you that story another day.
Okay. All right. But thank you anyway.
All right, man. Later.
All right, later.